Hi everyone. I recently heard some really sad news about the death of one of our great amateur guitar builders. You probably know him as I Am Jurgs, and he was an absolute great guy. He left me loads of fantastic supportive comments, and so I was so appreciative of what he did. But he also produced some fantastic guitars, and Saul Goode Guitars have done a fantastic tribute to him. So what I'm going to do is leave a link in the description below, and I'll put it up in the corner there so you can click on that. And I'd also strongly recommend going and having a look at some of his videos, his guitar making, because he's really an expert. But he'll be so sadly missed, and I feel so sorry for his family. My condolences go to them. Such a wonderful guy, and well, so sad that we've lost him. Jurgs, you are great. Just a quick update. Jurgen was very much part of the guitar building community, and I know he was a regular contributor to the Guitar Builders Collective. And I know that his friends have got together and put a range of t-shirts out there which feature some of his guitars. And so all the proceeds from the sales will go to the charity that his family is supporting, which I believe is the Leukemia Foundation. So I'm going to put a link in the description below. Whew. Not sure how we're going to do this. Now, once again, I'm really grateful for all the comments that I'm getting about this guitar. And there's a couple of people who have said to me, whatever you do, don't build a new guitar, just repair the old one. And because as they said, it's your first guitar, and you know, it's got a lot of memories. Well, yes, but memories are memories, and guitars are physical things, and sometimes they do need retiring. But as I said in the last video, I'm not going to enter the Great Guitar Build-Off this year. This is going to be my project for this year. So I thought, why don't I do both? Why don't I repair my guitar and make a new one just like it? And it will be interesting because we will see or hear how the two guitars sound at the end, because they're both going to be very different. So I think that's what I'm going to do, unless anything else changes. But enough of waffle, I'm going to get on. I need to finish this Solera, I need to sort some woods out and start cutting wood. Whoops, I just missed one. I can see that. I'll get that done. I'm fitting these so that it'll work for the electric guitar as well as the acoustic guitar that I've marked on here. Not that I used these sort of fittings last time I made the electric, but you never know, they may be useful. So that's a 16mm hole. This is a 6.5mm hole. And I'm just joining the two up with this jigsaw. And fit that back in there, put the washer in there. These are 6M bolts, roofing bolts, and I picked up a pack of butterfly bolts there from the middle aisle of a supermarket, like I always do. Keep a lookout for things in those aisles. Excellent. So that looks like I have Solera. Right, I'll tidy that up with a vacuum. So now we have the Solera, and the former that I made should fit into there. So I know I've got the right shape. I think I've got a lot of the tools that I'll need to start this project. I have a brand new blade in the saw, and yesterday I spent quite a bit of time setting it up and experimenting cutting very thin veneers. This is a piece of walnut which I sort of cut to the length of the body, so I'm going to attempt to cut some strips from this, which are, I think I'm going to do it 3.5mm thick, so that I can then plane it down to, I don't know, to about 2.5mm something. And I'm going to use that either for the front or the back of the new guitar. I haven't made my mind up yet, so but let's get this set up. Well, hello there. It's been a few days since I've been in the workshop, well, at least doing guitar building. We've been having the grandchildren stay with us, so been making a tunnel for their new rabbit, Peter the rabbit. That was exciting stuff, and had a bit of a tidy up in the workshop. I made some drawers for my wood store out of some old scraps, just to keep it a bit tidier. I've taken possession of our hoover, which is partly broken, but it'll do for hoovering up the workshop. And well, I've tried to have a bit of a spring clean, although to be perfectly honest with you, you really wouldn't know it. Now I thought I would test my steam box. So here is my interpretation of a steam box. Now, I made this a while ago, and I made it up to this point here, and that wasn't long enough to put the sides of the guitar in, so I've added this bit on the end, made out of scraps of wood as usual. And the idea is that we open this up, feed the wood in there, get the steam going, and to try it out, I've got an old kettle. I think I'm going to probably use a wool paper stripper in future, but I've got an old kettle plugged in, so let's give it a go, see if I get any steam. Okay, here goes, and as always, I say don't try this at home. Let's get the kettle going, see if we get any steam. Something's happening. Okay. Well, Okay, so I've got the steam being fed into an old plastic waste pipe down the bottom there with some holes in it. So you're getting quite an even spread of steam, although I guess once you've filled this with steam it's going to spread all around the box. And yeah, it's getting quite warm in there. Let's close up the box. So that's another piece of this jigsaw, guitar building jigsaw, hopefully all in place. What's next? I think when I do this I'll do it outside because it makes a bit of a mess on the workbench. Okay, well, off camera I did a bit of work on the woods. And thank you very much for all your suggestions about what wood I should use where. Really helpful. One of the suggestions was to use the Zebrano as the top. So let me show you. Now, what I've done, I had a couple of thin pieces already and I've sliced those even thinner. I haven't thicknessed them yet because unfortunately the thickness of blades weren't very sharp and started to cause a bit of tear out, which I hope I can get rid of. But I think I'll need 3 pieces of this, and that to me I think will look quite smart on the top if I can put them together in a sensible way. So that's that idea. As for the back, well, I had a piece of walnut which I'd already cut down, and I've actually cut that now into 5 pieces, 6 pieces, sorry. But I think I can use 5 pieces or 4 pieces to create the back, and that will be there. So I quite like this light sort of sapwood there going through the middle with the darker on the edge. So that's my plan so far. Walnut on the back, Zebrano on the front, and for the sides or the ribs, rosewood. Now then, I've got this really long piece of rosewood. Let me just move all this out of the way. It's incredibly heavy, so this wood is really dense, and I actually bought it for fretboards, if I'm perfectly honest. Like all the pieces of wood I've got, they're not ideally sawn, so I think it's quarter sawn wood you need, and none of these are, so if I'm not careful they're going to bow. It's ideal for fretboards, and I think it'll work on the sides of the guitar. So that's my plan at the moment. Rosewood on the sides, walnut on the back, Zebrano on the front. Just leaves the neck. Now I know this is an acoustic guitar, classical acoustic guitar, but I think I want to do something a bit different with the neck. And I know you're probably it's going to raise some eyebrows this, but I think I would like to make sort of a compound neck, a bit like the Great Guitar Build Off 2021, I think this was from. I'm not suggesting I'm going to do the curves again, but I'd like to do that sort of compound neck, and I want to make the neck detachable. And yes, I'm going to wait for the comments, but I'm going to attach the neck to an acoustic guitar with a roofing bolt. Yes, I'm sorry about that. It's going to be a bit different. But so I need to select some woods for that, and I think I'd like a light strip in the middle with some darker on the outside. So I think what I'm going to do is use the rosewood on the outside with a light strip of possibly, well, I could use this maple, although I rather fancy the maple as the fretboard. I think that might look quite nice. Or I could put a strip of Zebrano down the middle. That might look quite interesting. Anyway, I think I've got an idea. Got got no idea how I'm going to build this thing, but I've got some ideas for the wood. And usually I start off with the neck, so I think, although I've cut these top pieces, I'm going to let these settle for perhaps another week before I do anything with them, and start on the neck. I should just say a big thank you to one of our friends in the village who have given me some beautiful mahogany. This is from a windowsill, but I've got some from a fireplace as well, and this is going to make a really nice back to a guitar, I know that, and perhaps a neck as well, because I just love the rich colour of mahogany. So that's wonderful. So thank you very much, it's marvellous. Right, please do go and have a look at the video that Saul Goode Guitars made as a tribute to Jurgen, because I never realised all the different guitars that he'd made, and that they're absolutely wonderful. Very original as well. It's such a loss, it really is. Right, I'm just going to measure the length of the sides, so I'll give myself a little bit extra, so that I can cut that out while I'm cutting out this neck. Right, so how long's a piece of string? Well, there's the answer. Now then, which bit do I want to use for the sides? I think I'd be better to use a strip from the middle of this. There's a bit of a split or a shake there, whatever you like to call it, so that's no good. So, well, if we avoid that, I'll go from about there up to about there. Okay, find this square. Now I'm thinking, if I take out 100 mil in the middle, it should leave me with enough there to use for the neck. I think I'm just going to mark it up first. I think I'll find the middle first and then work from there. That looks like the middle. Centre line on there, 10.5, 10.5. Okay, that will do, I think. Then we'll measure 50 on each side of that. And a little bit extra on this. That's that one. It's not a very accurate pencil, this one. That's just over 100, and hopefully those two strips there will do for the neck. Let's see. That's the whole bridge length. Yeah, so I've got plenty of room. Yeah, I've got plenty of room. Because I'm going to have to use some of this to make the headstock. Okay, so just need to cut this out. Okay, I've cut some pieces. I've managed to get 5 strips out of that piece of wood, which will be great. They look to me to be about 3mm. I mean, that's what I was aiming for, but obviously I've got to thickness these down just to take off all the saw marks. So that's good. I've got a couple of spares. I've got these 2 pieces for the neck, which is really quite nice. Got a piece of Zebrano to go in the middle, and I've also found some it's either sycamore, I think it's sycamore, yeah, it's either sycamore or maple, that I'll thin down to make sort of a compound neck there. I actually wanted a little bit longer, so I'm going to have to join some up at the end if I can. We'll see how that goes. That's looking pretty good. I also found this piece, either maple or sycamore, and I'm not very good at deciding which one it is, but this might do as a fretboard. So I'm going to put that to one side too. Now what I'm going to do is leave this wood to settle for a week or so before I do anything else with it. And of course, while that's settling, I can go back to this guitar. Now, yeah, I've decided to repair this guitar, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this top back on it. It's going to do some repairs to the top. Basically, I'm going to try and restore it as near as I can to how it looked before, because I'm going to be making a different one as well. I will need to replace the fretboard because the old fretboard that I'd put on had gone, so I will need to do that. I need to glue this brace, fix that. I'm not going to touch the bottom. What I am going to do though is put a new bridge on, because this bridge has been abused. That's the best way to put it. And what I've got are some screws at the back there. I need to take those off. And in order to do that, I need to lift out these little inlays that they've put on the top there. So let me see if I can do that. I think I'll keep those. Put them back on. The new bridge. Yeah. Well, that's turning and that's doing nothing. That one's not even turning. Put some downward pressure on that. Try this. No. Looks almost like a square. I wonder, do I just tap it out? That's done the trick. That's completely buggered that one. Yeah. Okay, took a little while, and I reverted to the orbital sander because it was just taking so long to try and get anything off this, and it's done a pretty good job. There's a few patches where it's gone through from the top veneer to the underneath, but in actual fact, to be perfectly honest with you, I think it adds a bit of character to the guitar, but it's brought it back to the natural colour of it, which is rather nice. I need to do a bit of a repair on the back there, but yeah, quite a few repairs on the back, but I think we'll be able to do that. Oh, well, I'm going to call this video a day. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you stay with this series and see how we get on with both guitars. It's going to be quite interesting, I think. In the meantime, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.